So you're interested in seeking a partnership, which is somewhat code for acquisition. What are the pathways that you can go through to find the right partner? Thinking from an historic perspective, there have been two dominant ways that you could find a partner via acquisition. So let's talk about those two. The first route to finding a partner, when I say partner, it's a buyer for your practice. And we use that term partner because in most cases, the seller is not walking away. They're becoming a part of that larger firm's team, often as an owner in the business. To try to find that partner, there's been two dominant ways to go about that. The first is to try to do it yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. So you can go out into the marketplace and contact larger firms on your own, and perhaps they have an internal M&A team, perhaps they don't, but you can negotiate one-on-one with them. It's perfectly fine. Just know that it's a very cumbersome process to go through. You have to kiss a lot of frogs to find the right fit. It's time consuming. You have to regurgitate a very large amount of information over and over again if you're the one doing that process. But it can be done. You just want to be educated on deal structure, educated on economic models to ensure that you're getting the best evaluation for your business. So the second option that you would have to seek a partnership is to hire what's called a seller advisor. That would typically be like an investment banking firm or a business brokerage firm that you would hire to be your expert. So you engage them to represent you. And they will help you understand the lay of the land from an M&A perspective. They'll educate you on the process. They're going to collect all the information from you, give you an estimate of what your valuation would be. They're going to package that up, and then they're going to send that out to probably 10 or 15 firms. They tend to be the larger national serial acquirers, and they're going to launch what would generally be described as a competitive bid, an auction process. So they're looking for indications of interest at this phase, and the indications of interest tend to be all about the math. So they're going to take offers from those 10 to 15 bidders, and whoever is the highest 3 or 4, maybe 5 offers is going to make the first cut. So it tends to be all about the math or the economics. As we've talked about in other videos we've done, the cultural fit is clearly cited as the most important aspect of choosing the right partner. The sell side process tends to be all about the math. They'll get to the cultural aspect, but only after they've cleared the decks on that mathematical hurdle. So while I do think it's a better process to go through rather than going it alone, it tends to be about the math. And then secondly, it's very expensive. So you'll pay substantial retainers, work progress fees, and success fees that will easily get into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we represent a third process to get to a partnership, which we call the buyer advisor model, which simply means we are hired by larger wealth management firms to find you. And the basic bet is if you believe that we have a broad representation of clients that cover multiple cultures, multiple economic models, multiple deal structures, etc., that when you're engaging with Alaris, you're being exposed to the broad market. And at 22 clients and growing, we believe we've checked that box. And secondly, we're not biased in terms of who you partner with. We're not going to try to push you to one potential buyer over another. We have a very specific process around that to make sure that you're the one that's actually choosing the partner to move forward with in, call it the dating process. One thing I want to make you aware of is although we're paid for by the clients, we're not representing them as an agent. We're not a fiduciary representing their interests. They are merely paying us because they believe they're paying our fee because they believe that we're going to bring them partners that are culturally aligned. Our process starts with the culture, and we choose a potential partner based on the culture. Then we do the math. And so given that everyone cites the cultural fit as the most important way of determining if this is a good thing to do, that's where we start with and choose a client. The math will work itself out. We don't see that typically being a problem. If we go through the buyer advisor process and we don't have a fit, or if you're already dating someone that's not a client we represent, we can become sell-side advisors in that context. We've done that many times. We like to start with the buyer advisor model because, one, it focuses on the cultural aspects of it. And two, we think it's a better economic outcome because you don't have to pay the seller advisory fees. So hopefully that kind of clears up a little bit about the Alaris Acquisitions model. We think it's a superior model and one that is going to gain a lot of traction in the years to come. I look forward to meeting you. I'm Alan Darby, CEO of Alaris Acquisitions. I'm looking forward to meeting you soon.